Hello again, Porsche Files. So today we have this AutoArt Carrera GT. I actually have a Carrera GT by Kyosho. I've been quite happy with it, but I'm running out of cars that I want to buy in 1/64 scale. And I saw that picked this up locally. I was looking at it through the box, and I noticed this has a colorful interior, which Kyosho's almost never have. So I thought it'd be a good comparison, and maybe I'll just sell the Kyosho if this is better, but we're gonna find out if it is. A little comparison video. Alright, so there's the box. It's yellowed. It's pretty old. I don't see any copyright date on the box. Nor a date of the car on there. So no idea how old this is so far. Maybe it's on the bottom or something. So we got two screws holding this thing together. I don't really have too many AutoArts when I think about it. I guess they just didn't put too many castings out. Okay. Let's compare it to these photos. I might have actually pulled up the correct photo this time. It looks like that thing's got like a coffee interior. Alright. A more normal angle. Let's try some rear view. Alright, let's take a look at the details a little closer. Naturally it's black, not my preferred color of choice, but I was thinking I might actually color shift this. You know, when you spray color shift paint, it always wants to be on top of black, but that depends if this is screwed together, which is not. Oh man, I didn't know if AutoArts were screwed together. I just assumed it would be because it looked pretty nice here in the box. I don't know. Well, let's continue on. Let's see what's going on here. So, are there brakes? The wheels look pretty close to the real car. Ideally, there would be some color in the center caps, you know. They're blue on one side. I think they're red on the other side. This is a strange wheel. They have a printed on brake. I'm pretty sure that's silver paint back there. That's a first. I've never seen a wheel where they literally printed on the brake. Why wouldn't they just mold? I mean, what's going on? Why would they even have the back of this wheel blanked off? Look, you can literally see the pick go behind the spoke. So that's a real mystery. It's really weird why they would do that. I guess they did it because they wanted to show brakes, but they didn't want to mold brakes, so they just printed it. That's really strange. I think I'd almost rather have no brakes and just air passing between all the way through. Strange. Strange for sure. Okay. Looks like there's some paint rash developing here. Is there a date on the bottom of this? No, so that doesn't help us either. I don't know how old this is. If anyone knows when this is first released, please leave a comment. The tires are slicks, which doesn't bother me. It's nice that the rears are staggered in width, so that's nice. This is a molded in, like, carbon kind of texture. It's kind of neat. Sadly. Oh well. Okay, let's see. There's a little silver paint here on the side. I don't know if that's like a turn signal on the real car. Maybe. I would assume so. Boy, it's really hard to see a black shiny car, right? But looking in these vents, yeah, there seems to be a silver or some sort of texture like a radiator back there. Here, same thing. What about this side? Yeah, it seems to be the same kind of texture all the way back there. It's a really fine texture, so that's pretty nice and pretty deep vents too. Okay, the Porsche badge. I think it's a little big. Looking at the photographs for reference, you might want to back up, but At least it's a pretty nice badge. Let's see, we're 4 times magnified. They have, black, red. The color separation is good, but the actual text on the top part is not legible to my eyes. I can't read it. But we can see the headlights here. There's some striations molded on the backside, like the Fresnel lensing. The pin itself is going into the casting, looking like a light bulb, and then there's another one, something here, casted into the light bucket itself. So pretty good headlights. I don't know if there's silver paint back there for this little horizontal. Yeah, I think that's a silver stripe painted on, so that's good. Sorry, my fingerprints. No blistering up here, so that's pretty nice. Let me back out. 4 times is too much. Raised painted wiper blade looks good. The blackout is printed very nice on the plastic. And then peeking into the interior, pretty nice detail. You got this silver frame and this brown middle section, but back to silver in the center console. A little contaminant there. That doesn't come off. Third brake light is printed nicely, and then this is some sort of... I can feel the holes here. Oh, I'm gonna guess that's paint, or is this... It can't actually be hollow, but I can feel the holes. You can hear them. So nicely done. I mean, you can see like the cam covers be through that perforation. It's kind of like being on the inside of one of those buses where they have the graphics on the outside. You can see out, but you can't see in. So it's a good effect. You can tell there's something behind that perforated surface. Alright, oh, well, this is nice too. Again, the perforation, and I can feel it, so I feel this has to be just like thick paint or something. But this one, maybe this is actually molded as well. Like maybe they molded in all these little hexagons and then just painted the raised surface. So it's painted and dimensional. That's what I'm guessing, but obviously I could be wrong. The rear wing is in the down position, and it does look like a separate piece to me. I don't think it's part of the casting. Because, yeah, it can't be, because there's air passing underneath it. So that's pretty nice. And then they also have a third brake light here. So I guess that's a fourth brake light. At least that one is. Okay, so red taillights. Looks like there's some details molded behind it, or the taillight itself has some molded lensing back there. Looks good. So this is, I'm going to guess a reflector, maybe a backup light, and this one is a different graphic because it's a little silver in red. This is just all red. The exhaust pipes, well, yeah, this is just totally flat here. There's no sort of depression or anything like that. But at least it's black in the middle, and then the outside is silver, like the real car, so that's good. The side mirrors have some paint. They're just... Sorry. There you go. So the mirrors are casted into the body, but they're okay. They're sticking up. They're not just molded into the A-pillar. So it's not so bad. Trying to look in the interior there. But, molded windows are quite distorted. But, let's see, yeah, you can see that center console, silver, 3 knobs or something on it. The seat is good enough, looks like smooth leather. The backrest, yeah, no seat belts that I can see. What about the other side, the steering wheel? I don't see a graphic on the steering wheel. But it looks like, maybe there's some silver on this side of the steering wheel on the dashboard, on the vertical part. Okay, well, anyways, it's a far better interior than the Kyosho. In fact, and it's got, I think, a black steering wheel. So, in fact, let us compare to that Kyosho. So, tray of comparison makes this showing again. And Kyosho, in this case, we got white, so we got black and white to compare. On the same surface. So the detailing of the vents, this has those radiators back there. This is just, well, I think it's just flat in there. Yeah, it doesn't have the ribbing. The badge, though, on the white Kyosho looks much better proportioned. It doesn't look so large. And the Kyosho has this metallic white paint, but you'll see in the back it's not the greatest. So yeah, plain black interior on Kyosho blister packs. Casted in mirrors again on the Kyosho, so actually I kind of feel like the Kyosho mirrors might be a little nicer. They look more like the photograph in their shaping. You know, like this looks like an oval, whereas this kind of looks like less of an oval. Alright, side details. Now the Kyosho has air passing all the way through the wheels, no brakes at all. The AutoArt has that weird printed on brake, so I'm not sure which one you guys like better, but I think I'm preferring the Kyosho myself. So there's also some black painted details here and here. That's just flat but black. This is flat as well, and obviously being a black car they don't need to even bother. Now those engine cover things though, so this one is much smoother. You know, it's just printed on a smooth plastic surface, whereas I think this one is printed on a textured hexagonal grill surface. But both of them are pretty good. See, you can see like what looks like an engine, center of an engine bank there. This one's got, yeah, so not bad. Although actually, now that I think of it, the Kyosho is letting you see more in certain angles. At least you can definitely see more through this angle. Maybe at the side angle, you can see a little bit more here. Tough call there. Both have 4 brake lights here. The Kyosho exhaust tips are better though. There's a depression with black in it. This is just flat. The graphic of this is better here than there. Interesting that the ride height is different. And this looks taller and narrower. This looks lower and wider. To me, this looks more like a sports car than this. Right? Maybe it's just the ride height of this. So, but the ride height doesn't look bad. You know, there's a little gap there. But if I press down. But the Kyosho, same. Actually, the Kyosho front ride height looks worse. So that's interesting. That the AutoArt is riding so high. I mean, look how high the rear fender is compared to this fender, right? The mirrors are roughly in the same spot, but interesting to see that difference. Now, what I don't like about this Kyosho is this is clear plastic and it's painted with the same paint. The problem is there's not enough to block the light coming into the side windows. So it might be hard to tell, but I can clearly see that this is not the same shade of white as down here or here. Same with the wing. I feel like the wing is a tiny bit off in the shading because it's sprayed on black plastic, clear plastic, die-cast metal. And being white, you know, light gets through there. This one you can see these vents a little bit easier being a white car. This one does have vents, but you know, there you go. This has an ovoid fuel filler. This has a circular fuel filler. Sorry. Bad angle. This is more circular, more oval. I don't know which is more accurate though. I can't see in the photographs. This has the grille detail here in this vent. The Kyosho is just a silver outline. No grille detail. Well, I would say both Carrera GT's printing is pretty good. So, I guess whichever brand you get, they're both pretty good models. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. But, man, I don't know. I like the interior of this, but proportionally, for some reason, this just looks like a sports car, whereas this one does not as much, now that I can see both of them. If you didn't have both of them, you'd probably be perfectly happy with this. But sadly, I have both of them, so it kind of bothers me. I always forget to do this. AutoArts apparently roll pretty well. Kyosho's 50-50. Oh, this one does roll. Okay. So I think the wheels on the Kyosho are a smaller diameter, so maybe the tires are also a smaller diameter, which is why it might be sitting lower overall. You know, that's what I'm suspecting there. Both sadly are riveted together, so modifications will not be easy. The Kyosho does have nice treads, and if you care about the bottom, there seems to be more detail back down on there. Alright, that's enough for the comparisons, I guess, there. Alright, let's take a look at some other Halo cars. I believe the first Porsche Halo car was the 959. That is by Kyosho as well. This thing's a little whacked out. The rear wing is way too short. It's not tall enough. So I hope someone makes this in a premium format. Mini GT would do a good job, but I'd be happy even buying a resin version, you know, a much more expensive one. Or frankly, I'd buy both. If Mini GT did one and a resin came out, I'd buy both of them. I love that car so much. When I was a kid, that was the supercar. That and the F40. Alright, so this is also Kyosho. This is the 918 concept car, so it has the side pipes. And unfortunately, you can see the discoloration of the rear wing. That white paint over the rear wing is more yellowed now than the white on the die-cast body. Hopefully you can see. I can see it with my own eyes, though. Alright. I have ordered a new rotating display because you can clearly see this thing jittering. I've taken it apart. I've cleaned it. It's a cheap display. Can't do anything about it. So hopefully that new display will come in and hopefully it'll be better. Alright. Well, every car is still going to get a spin on its own. I'm a little torn on which one I should keep. Which one would you guys keep if you could only have one? I'm curious what people's opinions are. I don't feel a need to have two Carrera GTs. I don't find this to be an overly attractive vehicle for some reason. It should be. There's nothing wrong with it, but for some reason as a whole, maybe the front end just looks a little too much like a Boxster instead of a Halo vehicle. The rear end is perfectly fine. That's pretty crazy enough for me. But yeah, the front end looks like a Boxster to me. Alright, well, thanks for watching. See you the next time I get a Porsche in. Bye.